is unacceptable.
While our water bodies are poisoned. Chai. Today we'll bring back a little bit of the rather depressing, knowledge that was shared on Newsfile. It's just depressing, and as if it couldn't get worse. Sticking with the theme of water, see what's happening with the Kwawu Dam, or more accurately, what's not happening with the Kwawu Dam.
A dam of promises.
$993 million, almost $1 billion, is what was supposed to be spent on this thing. If you have a look in the budget, I don't think they've even spent 100 million. And in fact, some of the stuff they've constructed has disappeared.
Wow.
They built a whole camp, right? Where they at the main dam site where they were going to start construction. They built a camp for workers and so forth. I visited that place with Albert Sorry. You remember during the Up to Us campaign?
I remember.
I visited that site. That was supposed to be the solution to all of this, right? $993 million.
There are funds allocated for this project.
No. I mean, they said how much it will cost, but every year when you look in the budget, you can't find it. Except for 1 year where we were able to find something like $70 million.
Maybe it's not priority.
Or was it even CDs? It might have been CDs. That's it. That's it. Charlie, anyway. Today we'll bring you the details in that documentary. Stay tuned. A big thanks to Total Petroleum. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. Ghana Pay, your money your way. And Sanlam, live with confidence. We're grateful to them for the 6 a.m. news. For the Joy Business Report, we give thanks to Carl Bank for it together. Glyco Life Travel Insurance. Glyco, we cushion you for life. And of course, the best mortgage is still at Carl Bank. The Carl Bank mortgage can be your path home. They can take over your mortgage from other financial institutions, or they can give you, they can release the equity in your home as a personal loan for your personal needs. Also, if you are partially done with your construction, you can get a loan to complete it to your taste and style, or maybe you're just a first-time home buyer. Talk to Cowbank about a mortgage to help you purchase your dream home. To learn more, call 0800 500 500 or 056 090 7456. You can chat with them online on social media and on WhatsApp. You can also email mortgage@cowbank.net. Or just go to cowbank.net to know more about their mortgage offers. Let your home be the investment you deserve. Cowbank, forward together. Now, however safe traveling may seem, there are things that could happen which you would not foresee, but could have dire consequences, like ill health, or security issues, or accidents, or natural disasters. Glyco Life Travel Insurance covers you for all of these things. With their solid international network, the Glyco Travel Insurance will give you medical and emergency assistance, plus COVID-19 cover, personal 24-hour assistance services, replacement for loss of baggage or passport or documents. Glyco Travel Insurance also guarantees you cover for personal accident, personal liability, compensation for trip cancellation or curtailment, and losses or delays that last over 4 hours. Listen, call them on 0302 218 500 or send a WhatsApp to 020 222 2113 for a travel insurance policy that best suits your needs for an enjoyable travel in absolute peace of mind. Glyco, we cushion you for life.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Brand new week. Our top stories: Ghana Revenue Authority to descend on businesses issuing fake VAT invoices from today as part of aggressive nationwide exercise to rake in more revenue. Also coming up, Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers Association dismisses government's accession. It is working to ensure at least 50% of Ghanaians have access to safe, clean, and environmentally friendly LPG by 2030. Plus, Association of Ghana Industries makes a strong case for International Monetary Fund financial support to target manufacturing sector after engaging visiting team. And later, Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana rejects claims that it is deliberately failing applicants of its professional examination. We'll have more from the Institute's 39th graduation and admission ceremony. My name is Daryl. Kwawu. Thanks for being with us this morning. First up, the Domestic Tax Revenue Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority will today descend on businesses issuing fake value-added tax invoices as part of aggressive nationwide exercise. According to the authority, this is in line with this mandate to improve compliance in order to rake in more revenue for the state. Addressing the media, head of the Domestic Tax Revenue Division, Edward Jambra, said the authority will punish registered businesses that do not issue the right VAT invoices to customers.
We need to initiate a number of compliance activities to ensure that if you are required to issue VAT invoice, you are issuing. If you are required to collect the VAT invoice, you are collecting. You are also not only issuing, but you are issuing it for the correct amount and charging the correct taxes that has to be paid. One of the strategies that we do to ensure that these taxpayers are complying with the invoice issuance is to conduct invigilation.
And that was Edward Jambra, he's head of the Domestic Tax Revenue Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. The Ghana Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative is making a case for the creation of new laws to manage revenues accrued from the mining sector, as it is done for the oil and gas sector. According to his co-chair, Dr. Steve Mantial, the country risks losing many benefits from mining due to the mismanagement and poor handling of revenues that are generated from the sector. Speaking to some members of the Institute of Financial and Economic Journalists, Dr. Mantial charged government to do the needful in safeguarding investments in the sector.
Gold revenue are equally volatile, but there is no framework, not even in the MIF, to deal with the volatility effect of mineral revenues on our budget. So that remains a gap. We set up the Heritage Fund to take care of the intergenerational interests of future generations in the resource. We don't have that arrangement in the mining sector. So in short, we'll say it is time to do for mining what we have so brilliantly done for oil and provide mechanisms by which citizens are able to obtain information from the way mineral resources are managed in order to use the information to hold duty bearers accountable.
Dr. Mantial's engagement with the media forms part of processes to discuss the 2019 Ghana Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative report, which shows that the country is losing out on some key revenue streams from gold. Now, speak of gold, Africa's largest gold refinery, Rand Refinery Limited, is set to explore a base in Ghana, as it has already begun talks with the government. The refinery is one of the largest integrated single-site precious metals refining and smelting complex in the world. Last month, the country opened its first gold refinery in Accra. Minister for Lands and Natural Resources Samuel Jinapor says the move to get Rand Refinery to also set up a base in Ghana is part of efforts to make Ghana Africa's mining hub.
I think in the next week or two, Rand Refinery is coming to Ghana, not just on a visit, but on a major exploratory and working visit with a view of establishing a refinery in Ghana or partnering with an existing refinery. It's been in existence since 1921, and it's a major gold refinery destination in Africa. And
you heard Samuel Jinapor, he's Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. The Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers Association has dismissed government's assertion that it is working to ensure that at least 50% of Ghanaians have access to safe, clean and environmentally friendly LPG by 2030. Speaking at the launch of the National LPG Promotion Program in Obuasi, a Deputy Energy Minister, William Oreku Edu, said the government over the past years has undertaken programs, activities and initiatives towards promoting the use of LPG. But Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association, Gabriel Kumi, disagrees. He tells Joy Business LPG consumption will go down by 15% compared to that of last year due to the high price of the commodity.
It's simply impossible if government does not take the bold measures and to take bold decisions to ensure that LPG is affordable. It's impossible for us to achieve that kind of objective, because as we speak, LPG consumption is on a serious decline in Ghana. If you are selling a kilo of LPG at almost 11 cedis, how do you expect to grow? Government is trying to find solace in cylinder recirculation, but cylinder recirculation per se will never increase consumption of LPG in Ghana if we don't take the measures to bring the price of the LPG down.
Gabriel Kumi is Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association. The Association of Ghana Industries is asking for that financial assistance from the International Monetary Fund be directed towards the manufacturing sector. It believes that this is one of the surest ways any fund program for Ghana will bring about the expected growth. The AGI made the call during an engagement with the visiting IMF mission chief to Ghana. Said Chuma Kwawu is chief executive of the association.
Much as the IMF intervention is largely targeted at macroeconomic stability, whatever resources is coming in, it should also be channeled to the productive sector, in particular agriculture and industry, because these are the areas you can have very high positive multiplier effect and will help create the needed jobs we need and also reduce our dependence on importation. Because when we get to the situation where we don't import so much, any external shocks could be seriously absorbed by the local economy.
IMF financial support has primarily gone to the central banks to finance their balance of payment needs. Let's turn to other news for you this morning. The Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana has rejected claims that it deliberately fails applicants of its CA professional examinations. According to its president, Professor Williams Atuilik, his outfit is committed to churning out competent professionals, hence the decision to tighten the examination process. He spoke at the Institute's 39th graduation and admission ceremony organized in Accra.
Those in other parts of the country who often entertain the idea that ICAG deliberately fail people and we've set a standard just to frustrate people, I think you should begin to change your mind. It's never the case. It cannot be the case. In fact, the standards are high and very, very rigorous.
And the 39th ICAG graduation and admission ceremony saw an alumnus of the University of Ghana with first-class honors in political science, Richard Nyame, emerge overall best graduating candidate of level 3 after sweeping about 3 awards. In an interview with Joy Business, Mr. Nyame said sanctions against professionals engaged in unethical accounting practices should go beyond just withdrawal of licenses to imprisonment. Now, let's turn to some important news. Now, total amount of foreign currency deposits with banks in Ghana reached a little over $4 billion at the end of June this year. That's according to the Bank of Ghana data covering bank operations from the first 7 months of this year. George Rafe has more.
The foreign currency deposits are basically all the major foreign currencies that are saved with the commercial banks. However, for the purpose of reporting, the amount has been converted to dollars. This is despite the fact that it is just a fraction of these deposits that are held in other currencies like the pounds and euros. The $4 billion ending June this year in terms of foreign currency accounts represented more than 8% growth from the beginning of this year. But for some, the biggest concern here is that not all these accounts are held by businesses and individuals that are directly in the dollar-related business that these accounts are needed, but rather a chunk are held by individuals that are trying to hedge the investments against inflation as well as the city's depreciation. Now, these numbers does not even cover July ending in August this year, at a time when the Ghana city was under some serious pressure, which resulted in more dollar accounts being opened with the commercial banks. But for some, maybe the time has come for more to be done to stabilize the Ghana city by offering higher yields on city assets to possibly discourage this practice. Or maybe can something be done by the Bank of Ghana to cream some of these dollar accounts that will go a long way to help in stabilizing the Ghana city during these times.
George, I feel with that report. Let's turn to the currency market for you this morning. The cedi lost marginal grounds last week. It is selling this morning at 10.77 pesos to the dollar. It also lost value slightly to the pound, selling at 11 cedis 50 pesos to the pound and trading at 9 cedis 99 pesos to the euro. Now, there's still some selling pressures on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Let's now hear from Evelyn Lavie of Databank Research on which stocks will be exciting this week.
Last week, the stock market closed lower due to price decline in Cowbank. Cowbank decreased by a peso to close at 75 pesos, and New Gold depreciated by 3.5 cedis to close at 166.5 cedis. As a result, the Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index dropped slightly by 0.02% week on week to widen its year-to-date loss to 10.07%, while the Databank Stock Index dropped slightly by 0.04%. Based on the outstanding bids and offers on the trading floor last week, we tipped Kwawu Ghana and MTN to decline due to selling pressures on these counters. For Joy Business Report, Evelyn Lavi of Data Bank Research.
Thanks, Evelyn. On the commodity market, crude oil selling this morning at $91 a barrel. Gold lost $3 to open trading at $1,713.70 an ounce. Cocoa went up by $32 trading this morning at $2,360 a ton. There is more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl Kwawu. Thanks for listening. The Super Morning Show continues, and here's Kojo Yangse.
All right. Well,